Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of System Update. I apologize for missing the last few weeks, however I've finally gotten back on track. I will be covering 3 topics related to the world of gaming and my recommended game of the week, so let's jump right into it. After the success of the Resident Evil HD remake, Resident Evil 2 is getting a remake of its own. Yoshiaki Hirabayashi, producer of the first Resident Evil HD, will be the head of the project. Due to popular demand, and possibly because of the popularity of the fan-made Resident Evil 2 remake, the project has been greenlit. Yoshiaki stated, "You've been telling us for years that you want a Resident Evil 2 to be remade, and we haven't been able to make it happen. Until now. We at R&D Division 1 will do our best to take on your feedback and deliver the gameplay experience you've been waiting for." The game is in its early stages of development, so not much is known about it, other than the fact that it's happening. Capcom is currently working on a remake of Resident Evil 0 as well, and I would say it's safe to say that Resident Evil 3 is going to get a remake sometime in the future as well. I guess if you can't make any more good Resident Evil games, you just remake the ones that actually did well. Resident Evil is one of those games I've always wanted to play, but I never actually got a chance to play, and from what I've heard, like the Silent Hill games, they haven't really held up that well. So, them remaking it is perfect for me, because I've always wanted to get into those games, but I've never really had the chance to. I've heard they've been better than the last few games. I've heard 6 and 5 were not too great at all. Fallout Shelter, the mobile Fallout spin-off game, is finally making its way to Android devices. If you don't already know what Fallout Shelter is, it's a mobile game in which you can be the overseer of your very own vault. It is a very fun mobile game, but it can get boring pretty fast. It is entirely free, other than some available microtransactions, which are not at all required to enjoy the game. There's a lot of games on the App Store where if you don't spend money on whatever they want you to, you can't really do anything fun. The game, funny enough, made over 5.1 million in the 2 weeks, and at this point has possibly made more than how much Fallout 4 is expected to make in terms of money-wise. And this will only grow with the added Android support. Like I said though, Fallout Shelter can get dry fast, almost as dry as the dying radioactive residents of Vault 420. At this point, the only thing that keeps a lot of people playing is the joy of you getting to open lunchboxes, which are the microtransaction things you pay for, like I said, which admittedly is pretty fun. Fallout Shelter is not bad at all, and I strongly recommend you go and try it at least, because like I said, you don't need to get the lunchboxes, you don't need to pay at all, it's completely free, and it's fun. It's definitely fun. I definitely spent some hours on it, I just kind of got bored of it. It's free on iOS, and now Android. Twitch played Pokemon, and surprisingly, Twitch succeeded. Eventually. However, now Twitch is attempting to play Dark Souls. Dark Souls is a game that requires precise timing, quick reflexes, and a good amount of thinking. I'm sure they will have no problems at all trying to get through the game with 9,000 people constantly putting in commands all at once. If you don't know what Twitch Plays is, I'll explain it. Twitch puts on a game, but there's no one person playing the game. People in the chat play the game. Certain commands can be typed into the chat, each corresponding to a different action your character can do. For example, if someone in the chat types RB, it will cause the character to roll backwards. It took them 16 days and like 7 hours or something like that to beat Pokemon Red. 23 hours in, they still haven't gotten past the Undead Asylum, which is the tutorial level of Dark Souls. They even put a space on the timer for years, which I assume it will take them many. I like to check in from time to time to watch the chaos. Last time I watched for a half hour as they attempted to retrieve the Asylum F2 floor key from Oscar's corpse. The stream is currently titled, "Can Twitch Play Dark Souls?" The answer is no. No, Twitch cannot play Dark Souls, but they're gonna try. I actually, last I watched, because when I wrote this, last I watched, they were picking up the key, but last time I watched from recording this, they managed to equip their weapon. They put it in the wrong hand, but they equipped it. It's a start. If you wish to watch, I'll leave a link in the description, but you can also just type in twitch.tv/twitchplaysdark. It's very entertaining to watch people rage in the chat, people just typing roll over and over in the chat, and just watching this character on screen flail around. It's hilarious. It's definitely madness. After the first episode, I decided to scrap covering the upcoming releases. Since then, the show has always ended after I covered the third topic. However, I decided to add a new bit, where I recommend a game that I have been playing that I suggest you put on your radar if you haven't played it yet. The recommended game can be new, old, it could be on the Super Nintendo, it could be on the PlayStation 4, whatever. It's just what game I've recently had on my mind that I suggest you try out. The first game on this list is Hitman Absolution. In celebration of the upcoming release of the movie, I have been playing it and enjoying every moment. It was free on Xbox 360 a few months back, which is why I had it, but if you don't own it, every Hitman game is currently on sale on Xbox Live, also in celebration of the movie. This game is great. You are Agent 47, and your goal is to eliminate anybody who is on your hit list. How you choose to go about killing your target is entirely up to you. You can go in guns blazing, or you can sneak around, learn their target's patterns, learn their weaknesses, learn their strengths. You can whip out your silver ballers and shoot them in the head while everybody's watching, and then shoot your way out, or you can drop a chandelier on their head and make it look like it was all an accident. No two playthroughs of this game will ever be alike. Agent 47 is a badass in every respect, even when everybody in the world wants him dead. Another thing to note about this game is the AI. The enemy AI is very great. It's very good. And just anything you do has an impact on the level, anything you do. It's almost as if the game learns just like you do. And failure is not easily forgiven. My only complaint is this game's campaign is only around 8 to 10 hours long, but there is a make your own contract system, where you can make your own contracts, share them with friends, or just share them with the rest of the world, which adds a little bit of freshness to the game. It added a few more hours for me, but I got bored of that pretty quickly. All in all, Hitman Absolution is a great game, and I think you should check it out if you haven't already. Thank you all for watching this episode of System Update. Hope you guys all enjoyed. Leave a like if you did, and please leave feedback in the comments telling me how I can improve. That's all for today. I will see you in next week's episode. Goodbye.